You're listening to It Came From the Radio. This is Jennifer Lee Spellman. I'm a very interesting guy. I was just listening to his TED Talk. He's a creator, he's a coach, he's a consultant. He inserts magic into your work. He can create maybe almost anything you want. I don't know about vehicles. That's my one question. But he does design a lot of very interesting things. You can check out his TED Talk. You can check out his empowering videos to help you create what you want to do. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you who he is because I don't like when people tell me who I am. So, Pape, welcome to It Came From the Radio. Could you let us know, listeners, who are you? What do you do? It's very
Well,
interesting.
thank you for having me on here. Yeah, so I am Paul Pape. I'm a designer, fabricator, and customs collectible maker. That's my day job. So that's what earned me the moniker of Santa for Nerds. And if you're watching my TEDx, that's what that is called, Santa for Nerds. I'm also a
Right.
coach and consultant who teaches other creatives how to be successful in business, which is something I'm very passionate about, being an artist and a creative understanding how to actually be successful at it and get rid of the
Mhm.
starving artist trope. That's what I'm all for. So that's what I do.
Right, right. I know a lot of starving artists. Sometimes it's almost daily that they're messaging me, and sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous stuff. But I can get into my crazy anecdotes later. Back to you. So, first, before we get into your coaching, let's get into some of the things that you've created. So, you have been called Santa for Nerds, and I have a gigantic 12-foot high Santa outside, and I have a Merry Christmas banner outside my house year round, and I have light up candy canes because I call myself Santa. But I'm Santa with a clause with CLAWZ. I'm a little bit, but we're not going to go there because this is not, it has to be radio friendly, and Santa Claus is not radio friendly. Yours is TEDx friendly. Mine is not at all. So I'm actually going to get my vows renewed on February 13th, ideally, hopefully. And
Okay.
I would like a wedding ring box. And I saw that you created this magical wedding ring box. So could you tell us, our listeners, describe it in words, what you created?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one you saw. I've literally made over hundreds of custom
Oh,
engagement ring boxes or proposal ring
wow.
boxes or for weddings and such. And so
Yeah.
basically, as a nerd, I'm a huge nerd. I'm Santa for nerds. And
Hmm, hmm.
I know so many people who have met via nerdy endeavors. They really like Harry Potter together. They really like Star Wars, or they're into this book or video game or whatever. And what I do is I bring that information together and I create a custom ring box for them that celebrates their nerddom, all the things that make them nerdy and that they love about each other. And I create a proposal ring box from it.
Right. And then they can see in that box, I saw one of them that they can see the person they're going to spend the rest of their life with when they open
Ah,
the
so you're talking about
box.
the Mirror of Erised, which is a Harry Potter themed one, which shows you your deepest desires. It's from the book, and it's a mirror that you can see yourself in. But then when you press a button, it magically lights up and shows you an image of your future, which is typically an image of the guy and the girl together, or the guy and the guy,
Right.
girl and the girl, doesn't matter. But it shows your future with those people in it, and then you open up the mirror, and inside of it is the ring as well.
I would love to attend a arranged marriage, and maybe one of them doesn't want to be part of the marriage, and they open this ring box and they see, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this guy. Oh my God, they have a nervous breakdown, and then it becomes worse than the Epstein files. Anyway, so Santa for Nerds, well, you do coaching.
Yep.
And I do makeup artistry and special effects and film production, all this stuff. So everything is creative. Stand-up comedians, a lot of times they're starving artists. I think out of every demographic I work with, from like tennis to workouts to dentistry to real estate, stand-up comedians are the most biggest group of people that's hit me up with starving artist text messages. So, what would you tell a comedian? I'm thinking of someone in particular. I'm not going to mention your name, who's a starving artist, truly, and wants to make money from his craft full time. Like, how do you help someone like this?
Well, I think the biggest thing, the first thing that I need to know about this person is what is their passion? What are they truly good at? I mean, if you're a comedian, obviously you're talking about something that resonates with you. That's the information that you're bringing. Nobody's just reading knock knock jokes from a book. And so what I need to know is I need to know what is that thing that is. Some of them do, like some of them actually read. But what is the passion that you're really there for? That's the thing I need to dig into first. And once I know that, then what we do is we
Hmm.
capitalize on it. I mean, there are aspects of everybody because everybody's journey is a little bit unique into how they got to where
Hmm.
they're at and why they present themselves in the way that they do. So for somebody like a stand-up comedian, I'd say, what is that thing that really makes you stand out? What's the thing that you give to everyone else that no other comedian's doing? Because obviously you're bringing a unique show to the game here. And so once I know that, then we start to capitalize on it. So if they're a starving artist, a couple things that I do is, let's either get you on a show so that we can promote you better, get your name out there because we really want to promote the person behind the work. Um, Books are a great way to do it. I know a lot of people don't make good money at books, but comedians can because funny sells really, really well. Other
Right.
than that, I mean, merchandise, merch, 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 merch. We can sell merch for days but we need that angle because if it's just a funny person on a shirt, nobody cares. But if there's an angle on it, if you got a catchphrase, something like that, that's really what's marketable. What I really love with some things like that is if we can find a catchphrase that we can actually tie into an actual object, even easier. And then it's just that thing that either you're throwing out to your guests at your shows or they're bringing to you, and so they're buying it and then bringing it back to you for
Right.
just for notoriety. Those types of things. That's the easiest way to do it. It's really truly being honest about who you are and who you want people to visualize when they think about you. That's what you should be selling. It's not about necessarily I'm a joke teller, I'm a comedian. It's what makes you stand out from all the other comedians that are out there. That's what we need to capitalize on.
Mhm. Right, right. Okay, so one thing I think about a lot, at least probably like once a month or something, when it comes to promoting a movie or a song, anything, even comedy. There's a book called The Art of Seduction, and you don't even have to read it. You can understand what that is. But I think, and I do know at least one comedian that has studied hypnosis because you
Mhm.
have to hypnotize or seduce your crowd,
Mhm.
whether you're selling this microphone, on TV, or you're selling your OnlyFans, or you're selling whatever, you're selling yourself, you want to get married, you have to seduce or hypnotize your audience unless they're desperate and then they'll take anything. Then you don't have to seduce them. But if they're people that have a million things to watch, why are they watching you? So one thing I've butt heads with is some people just don't seem to understand what the public thinks is interesting. They seem to discuss them and push them away rather than seduce them and draw them in. So, is there any advice you have for someone who perpetually repels people and bores them and disgusts them rather than seduces them?
Well, I think a big thing is you got to know who your audience is. I mean, if you're because everybody's got their group out there, and as much as I'd like to
Mhm,
think that we all have millions of fans, the true reality is we probably got a few hundred to a couple thousand fans. Like, that's the reality
mhm,
of it, and
mhm,
they're the ones who are
mhm.
going to show up repeatedly. They're going to be the ones who buy your merchandise, that kind of stuff. And what you need to do is you really need to start selling yourself to those people. That's really what, because you're obviously connecting with them. And the way that you know that you're connecting is because everything that you say, it resonates with them. They go, oh, that's totally me, or whatever it is. And
Right.
what we lose a lot when we're trying to appeal to the masses is that we're kind of muddying the waters. Everything turns gray. We're not staying true to who we are. I mean, I love the yellow that you're wearing right now because it really makes you stand out. Here I am wearing all dark colors, but you're really popping. So, like, if that was your signature, I'd expect to see that every
Mm,
single time I saw you. And it's the same thing with
right.
these people who are pushing people away. It's like, no, your comedy resonates with somebody, or that personality resonates with somebody. You got to find out who those people are. And if you're like, they aren't out there, I've got this great example that I love to give people. I was doom scrolling one night, really bored, and I saw this dog show that was going on. It was a video taken from like the doorway in a giant gymnasium, packed with people who were screaming and applauding and all that. And you could see a guy standing there, and he's having this dog do tricks that are rolling over, sitting pretty, all this kind of cool stuff. And then the camera starts to get closer, and you realize that's not a dog, that's a person in a gimp suit.
Oh, wow.
I'm not here to
Ah.
kink shame. What I'm saying is, if that group can fill a gymnasium of people who are applauding, who paid to be there, You can
Yeah,
find your people who are interested in the things that you're putting out there. You just got to work a little
100%.
bit harder. And that's the great thing about the internet is everything is very connected. And so it's not hard to find those people. And then once you start to resonate with them, you start to just build that momentum. And what's cool about that is if you find those like 100 super fans, they'll talk you up. They are the best form of advertising that you can get out there because they're going to
True.
talk you up to their friends and they're going to bring people like, oh, you got to check this person out, whatever. And that's what's really going to help to sell you because you're being true to who you are and it's resonating with the people that are truly out there to look for you.
True. Just quick aside, this gimp suit, was he being walked on a leash?
Yeah, walked on a leash and then, yeah, they're having them flipping around and doing all sorts of things. Yeah.
That's funny because that's actually going to be on a shot list for what we're going to shoot here. We're going to turn my house into a brothel, and the gimp suit thing, but I definitely want some guy to be walked around this house on a leash for the movie Deep. Shout out to Glenn McBride. All right, so back to you. So now we're gonna get into the therapy section of the show. By the way, this is my grandma's sweater. It makes me feel close to her. I never wear yellow, and that's where
Oh.
marketing also leads to betrayal and confusion because the person I am, and most of my videos is pretty much not who you're gonna find in real life. I might even be
Mm.
the opposite because this is a persona and who I
Yeah, it's a
present
character.
myself, yeah, to the public is completely different than who you're going to see at 3 in the morning in my house. But that's a little problems I've had with this marketing thing. But anyway, so now psychology, you have this self-belief. I watched your videos on YouTube and you part of your coaching and part of your message is to make people believe that they too can create magical things and create something from nothing. And you have 3 children. I'm sure you instilled that in your children, it seems like. I haven't, been remote viewing your household, so I really don't know what goes on. Maybe you squash all their dreams from day one and you're
That's the
highly
plan.
abusive. God forbid. I mean, God forbid. I don't think that's the case, but I don't like to comment on things I don't see. So, how did you get this self-belief in yourself that you could do things? Because you need to know that you can do something first, I think, before you actually go and create something. You have to know that it might be possible. So, where did this self-belief come from? Did your parents instill this in you? What happened?
No, quite the opposite, actually. I was beat down the entire time. Like, you can't be this, you can't do this. And I just have I'm a belligerent person as far as like my beliefs in myself. Like, I believe in myself probably more than anybody else ever will. And it's mostly because I'm just trying to follow this random path that I'm kind of walking on. People say, that I've got this path that I walk. Me, it looks more like a bowl of spaghetti. I have no idea where the hell I'm going, but I really believe that the people I interact with, the places that I go, the jobs that I do, they are all for a purpose, and that purpose is for me. And that's that there's that adage, if you should have a job in which you never feel like you're working a day in your life. You love it that much, and
Yeah.
it's true. I do love my job. I mean, there are days I hate working, but I love what I do, and so that belief has just been something that's been with me since I was little because I was kept being told you can't be this, you can't be this, and
Mm,
to me, I'm more like watch me, and it's a hard thing to get over, but it's a self-reflection. No one's going to have the journey that I had. No one's going to have the journey that you had. And that's what
mhm.
makes you unique and that's what makes you special. And we are now in a place in history in which opportunity is literally presenting itself daily with the ability to get on your phone, your device, and just
Yeah.
say who you are. And there are people who are taking advantage of this who I would say are not on the up and up and they're trying to be manipulative, but there are other people out there who are just genuinely trying to do the best that they can and try to inspire other people for it. And that's really all I'm trying to do. I just want to keep having fun in my life and
Yeah.
I've got to pay bills, so I want to keep doing the things that I'm doing that allow me to do that thing. And when I talk to other people, it's not so much that you have to be born with this belief that you're great. It's just that you have to know yourself well enough so that when somebody comes to knock you down, you can stand right back up again and be like, thanks, but no thanks, and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's really what the coaching does.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you said you were beaten down. Did you have anyone? Was there a teacher or friends? Was there one or two or 10 people that were like, "You're amazing," while you were beaten down at home? Was there any sunlight, or was it all
I
internal?
what like I had these weird moments in my like I'll go to like seventh grade. We had to do this project where we had to write to celebrities and we had to ask them what their favorite book was. And
Okay.
yeah, it's random, I know, but we had to write to two people because no one ever got a response. And I wrote to Jim Davis, this is the guy who created Garfield, the cartoon. And then I wrote to
Hmm.
Ray Bradbury, who's a very prolific sci-fi writer. And I asked them both.
Hmm.
And for some fluke reason, I got responses from both of them. And it's little things like that where like the universe keeps saying, keep doing what you're doing it
Yeah.
right. And it's not necessarily the people. Like you know, I wanted to be a designer, and so then I started designing some sets for a theater is where I started, and then I'm like, oh, I'll enter it into a contest. I won the contest. I'm like, okay, cool.
Wow.
I won another one where I literally, the Prince of Monaco hosted a party in my honor at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. The owner of Fabergé came out and presented me with a, one of 10 Fabergé eggs, be like, you're a really cool designer. It's stuff like that that are
Yeah,
just these things where the universe is like, keep doing what you're doing, bud. And it's not necessarily
definitely.
people. Now, in my life now, I got a lot of people who are like, yeah, what you do is kind of cool, or you're nice. Or my kids are like, you're an awesome dad. My oldest son, when he was 15 years old on Father's Day the night before, he actually wrote like 15 post-it notes and posted them all over my studio. And they're just little affirmations of like, thanks dad for turning me into the person that I
Aw,
am. You're very cool. And they're still up. I still have them all over here because I didn't want to take them down because it's a really nice thing. Because that one, it tells me that I did a good job as a dad. But
yeah.
two, it's like people are seeing the work that I'm putting into it, and it is work, but I'm
Hmm.
trying to live the best life that I can, being the most helpful that I can, and I mean the universe kind of repays it, which is really nice.
Yeah, wow, that's super cool. Yeah, no, I grew up with a dad who he had a landscaping business, a dental business, 13 dental specialties, the house. He doesn't know what's going on in pop culture or, foreign affairs. A lot of stuff he doesn't know, but I saw that he can create houses and, staircases and decks and teeth. And it showed me, oh, you know what? Hey, like I have some of this genetics, at least
Yeah,
50%, or at least, 49% or whatever. So maybe I can do these things too. And it's really cool that you do that for your kids. And this is, I have many more questions, but we're at the end of the interview. So if you could give our viewers, listeners, these fly by really fast.
yeah.
I would actually want to delve into every question a lot more, but it's a short format, so maybe another day. So give us your final thoughts and where we can find you.
Okay, my the only thing I'd love to tell to your audience is life is an adventure. Don't be an NPC, which is a non-playable character. Be the hero of your own adventure. Go out there and
Yeah,
enjoy the quest. That's what I would say.
love it.
You can find me at
Love
places like gamifybusiness.com, which is where I teach creatives how to be successful in a game
it.
format. We make life into a game as a role-playing game. Or you can find me as Santa for Nerds over at paulpapedesigns.com. I also have a book that just came out. It's on Amazon. It's called Quit Selling Your Shit. I'm sorry, that's not radio friendly, but it is. But
Fine.
what it is quit selling, like creative people first. Product selling first is going to kill your creative business. You've got to sell the
Mhm.
person behind it. And that's really what this is about. It's about becoming the person who you are because you're more important than anything you make and try and sell. So try and be the person. So quit selling your stuff and sell yourself instead. So that's where you can find
I
me.
love that. I love the be the hero of your own story. I have so much going on this week, and what I do usually involves creating something that's not there. I mean, it's very
Hmm.
seldom I'm just working in an office or doing routine things. It's like a movie. I have to create a character. I have to create how
Yeah.
she poses and moves and get to a new location and figure it out. And a lot of it for me causes stress. I don't want to, miss call times, whatever. But I love that. It's a great reminder to be the hero of your own story.
Yeah.
Because who can save you but yourself, really, at the end of the day? I mean, maybe your
Exactly.
kids. Maybe your kids will come in and they'll save you if you ever need help. If you have a stomach ache, maybe they'll bring you Imodium or something. I don't know. It's a
I think
terrible example.
they'll revenge my passing, but I don't think they'll be there to help me.
No, 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 no. No, I'd love to see what your kids create with your genetics. That'd be really cool. So stay tuned for 20 years from now. We're gonna follow up with Paul Pape's children to see what they created with all of the knowledge and wisdoms he's instilled in them. And on that note, we're at the end of the interview. Thank you very much. Check out this guy. He creates so many cool things that visually are obviously not seen in this interview. So check it out. If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you like TED Talks, if you like creating things that are just wildly imaginative, check this guy out. Paul Pape, over and out. Back to Mark Torres in the studio for more. It came from the radio.